Today I'm learning what Christmas is like in different European countries.
Oh,
Miss Pies, yes. Is that on the Eiffel Tower? Oh god, no.
Oysters.
So me and my only Christmas sweater are back for another Christmas video when Roger says hey. So basically my video plan got a little derailed this week. I had planned on breaking up the Christmas monotony by posting like another history video or another Al Murray or something like that. But then I looked at the calendar and there's like literally 2 days before Christmas and I'm just flat out of time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish out this week with Christmas related things, and then next week we're gonna get more back into a normal schedule. So when I was searching for Christmas videos, even like last week, I did run across this one called Rick Steve's European Christmas, and in the comments on the video I did on the British Christmas traditions, you guys let me know that there are a lot of European countries that have very different traditions, so my curiosity is piqued. Now I did want to do a video on like the Australian traditions and the Japanese traditions, but once again there is a surprising lack of videos out there covering that topic, and what there is out there weren't super great videos to react to on this channel, so maybe next year Australia and Japan. Although I will say this, I do know that I can sympathize with Australia because I did spend some Christmases in California in LA, so I know what it's like to basically have Christmas in the middle of summer, and it's not quite as much fun. Also, there are wildfires as well, so I totally feel you on that one. And I heard that Japan's Christmas dinner is like literally KFC, so you know, I mean I like KFC too, but I don't know if I'd want it for Christmas dinner. Actually, it wouldn't probably be that bad. And I think the Japanese also basically turned Christmas into their version of Valentine's Day, so I mean nothing says Christmas quite like taking your date to KFC. Alright, so back to this video. I have no idea who Rick Steves is, other than I think I've seen him before. His face looks familiar. I must have seen him on TV on like PBS or something. If you're over in Europe and you don't know what PBS is, that's like our version of the BBC kind of, except I think a little bit more boring. Anyway, I don't know anything about him or this Christmas special. I'm gonna be watching this on Amazon Prime, but I did notice that there was a YouTube video of this as well, and it looks like people really enjoyed it, so hopefully it's good. Now this is an American narrating this, so I'm sure that there are going to be things that might not be completely accurate. I don't know, but you guys can let me know down in the comments if there's anything in here that needs to be corrected. I always read your comments and I always learn a lot from you guys. Oh, and before we get started, I also wanted to let you know that I've got a heck of a surprise for you this weekend. I'm really excited about what I've got coming for you on Saturday, and I think Sunday too. I'm gonna have to do Saturday and Sunday on this one, so make sure you subscribe so you know when these are coming out. Now this video is 56 minutes long, so I'm gonna have to split this up into a couple of different parts. We're gonna do part 1 now, and then part 2 I'll release tomorrow on Christmas Day. So anyway, we're gonna get into part 1 here. I'm not really sure which countries he's going to go over, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the differences are between all of these countries and what I have always experienced here in the United States. So let's have a look at a European Christmas.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves, and it's Christmas time in Europe. From manger scenes to mistletoe, from Norway to Rome, we're celebrating all over the continent. Bon Natale, Fröhliche Weihnachten, Joyeux Noël, Merry Christmas, and thanks for joining us.
I apologize to all the Europeans if you mispronounce all of that stuff.
In Melting Pot America, Christmas is celebrated year after year with traditions that came over on the boat with our ancestors. In this holiday special, we're traveling back to the old country, to places of rich variety and deep roots. We'll explore the history behind our much-loved traditions. Joining friends and families across Europe, we'll discover a Christmas that's both familiar and different.
England is filled with voices singing in the season. The short days around the solstice bring Norwegians out to celebrate the light of Christmas. Families, friends, and food are the centerpiece of the French Noel. An angelic Christmas presence fills Germany and Austria with magical wonder.
Oh, are those the Clydesdales?
Italy reveals the sacred nature of the season, from its countryside to its holiest shrines.
Oh, that's cool.
Nature, in all its wintry glory, seems to shout out the joy of the season in Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland.
And everywhere, Christmas is celebrated
I love
with
that
family,
landscape.
including my own, as together, Europe remembers the quiet night that holiest family came to be.
While each European culture gives Christmas its own special twist, they all follow the same story of how the Son of God was born on earth, as told in the Bible and illustrated over the centuries by great artists.
The Christmas story begins with the Annunciation. An angel sent from God with a message for a young woman whose name was Mary. And the angel said, "Fear not, for thou shalt bring forth a son, and you will name him Jesus. And he shall be called the Son of the Most High, and his kingdom will have no end." And it came to pass that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph, a carpenter from Nazareth, went to Bethlehem to be taxed with Mary, who was expecting a child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son and laid him in a manger, because there was no room in the inn. In that region there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. An angel of the Lord came to them and said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you
they should
good
put something in
tidings
the
of
corner
great
or
joy.
something telling me
For unto you is born
all
on
these
this day in
paintings
the
were
city
from.
of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord." And suddenly there was a multitude of angels proclaiming, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth
Art
peace
history is
and
one of those
goodwill
things
to
that I've
all."
wanted to study before. I have to a certain extent.
And the
but
shepherds said, "Let us go to Bethlehem, where they found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger." Now after Jesus was born, there also came wise men, and a glorious star which they saw in the east went before them. Guiding them, it stood over where the child was. The wise men knelt down and worshipped the child, giving him gifts, gold,
They all have
frankincense,
such
and
different
myrrh.
renditions.
The
don't they?
long-awaited Messiah had arrived.
This is the story that Christians have celebrated through the ages. We don't really know on which day Jesus was born. Historians argue it was likely in the spring, as shepherds were tending their flocks. But in the 4th century, a pope declared December 25th to be the official birthday of Jesus. Why that day? Well, Christianity was newly legal in the Roman Empire, and the clever pope figured it would be smart if the biggest Christian festival coincided with the biggest pagan one, winter solstice. And throughout the land, people, Christians celebrating the birth of the sun, and pagans celebrating the return of the sun, have been rejoicing ever since.
I did know that about
For scenes
Jesus'
straight out of a
birth,
box of old-fashioned
supposedly in,
Christmas
like,
cards, we
April.
head to England, to the city of Bath.
I didn't know that the Pope was the one that
Here in the heart of the old town, near the magnificent medieval
Kinda declared
abbey,
Christmas
Bath
in
hosts
December,
an
though.
annual Christmas market.
But yeah, people in Britain were telling me about these Christmas markets that they do have them there. Everybody seemed to like the Edinburgh one. But how are these different from the German ones?
Carols are a deeply ingrained part of the English Christmas tradition.
Or are they different? I don't
The
know.
custom goes back to Shakespeare's day. Today, young and old sing their way through the season. Here, the Bath Abbey choir of boys and men are performing a carol concert by candlelight.
I love boys' choirs. I mean, we do this in America too. This is one tradition that we have in common. Although we don't have those robes. Those are very English-looking robes. Not in a bad way. They're just very English-looking. be so different living there amongst all of the old buildings like that. Again, we don't have stuff like that over here in the United States.
As is the case just about anywhere, it's in the countryside that families celebrate Christmas in the most down-to-earth style. My friends Maddie and Paul and their kids, Theo and Layla, are looking for a living tree, which they'll decorate and then plant at home.
About the right size? Yeah, okay. Brilliant, I like it.
It's a new twist on an old tradition, with a wink to the nature-worshipping pagans who once haunted these parts. Decorating with greens goes back to the Druids who adorned their temples with swags of evergreen. For pagans, living greens in the dead of winter represented the persistence of life. And for Christians, evergreens are a reminder of the gift of everlasting life. During this hectic season, getting together to bake Christmas goodies while the little ones decorate edible ornaments is a fine way for busy mums to enjoy some time together. Maddie's recipe for mince pies harkens back to the days of Henry VIII.
Oh, here's the famous
then,
mince pie. You guys
fruits,
told me all about
spices,
that.
And shredded meat for the filling were so expensive that only the wealthy
I don't know
could
about
afford
those
to
ingredients,
make a
though.
mince pie. According to tradition, 12 pies should be eaten during the 12 days of Christmas to ensure good luck each month of the coming year.
Forget those mince pies, Maddie.
But it's the
You guys leave
Christmas
them for
pudding
Santa,
that's the
right?
real centerpiece of a traditional English
That's
holiday
one of the
meal.
things that you do with them.
Bring us a figgy pudding. Now bring us a figgy pudding. Now bring us a figgy pudding. So bring some out here. Put this one up here. Yeah.
Like a lot of us, Maddie and Paul are opting for a simpler, less commercial style of Christmas, and that's reflected in their family traditions. Little Theos and
make
Laylas
ornaments
wouldn't
like
always
that.
have been so involved in the family activities. Childhood, as we know it, really began in 19th century England with the new middle class. And at Christmas, those stern Victorians gave themselves permission to indulge their children.
That's all that.
The English tradition of caroling starts very young. We're visiting Theo's school
wonder
as the
what
students take
childhood
center
was
stage
like
at the
prior
14th
to
century
that.
village
Doesn't
church
sound
for a
very
very
fun.
special Christmas concert.
Yeah, we do this too. Kids put on little Christmas plays or concerts. They actually don't sound half bad. They sound pretty good. Pretty young too.
Christmas is drawing near, and tonight, these lucky kids are taking a train through the woods to meet Santa, or, as the English know him, Father Christmas.
Come on in now. Now come on in and stand just there. And you
So I heard a
stand
lot
just
of you guys
there.
actually call him Santa
You
Claus
come across
too,
there,
so
that's right. And tell me your names now. What's your name?
Dylan.
Hello.
I am not
What's
used to
your
hearing
name?
Santa Claus with a British
And what's your
accent.
name? Oh, well done.
Nothing wrong
Now
with
then-
it, it's
now
just
then,
I'm
most
not
important,
used to it.
What do you want for Christmas?
I don't know.
Just some surprises. I'm very good at surprises. And what do you want?
Well, I haven't written my list down yet.
Haven't you? So we're going to wait for your list, and when it comes, I'll be ready for it. Now, are you going to do something for me? Are you going to leave me something out on Christmas Eve?
Yes.
What are you going to leave me?
Mince pies and
Well
wine.
Well
Ooh,
done.
mince
And
pies,
are
yes.
you going to leave a carrot for the reindeer?
Yeah. Yes.
Well done.
Oh
We'll
yeah, you
check
guys told me
back
you,
with
you guys
Theo
left
and
carrots
Layla
too.
on Christmas Eve.
You? And what was
Would
your
they get
name,
presents right now from Santa
darling? And
Claus?
something special.
Santas
Well,
over
children
here
on their
don't
best
hand out
behavior
presents
ask
like
Santa
that.
for the toy of their dreams. My wish right now is a chance to hear one of the finest chamber choirs in England, the 16, filling a church with timeless sounds of the season.
But these are called the 16s, is that what he said? I'm guessing there's 16 of them. Just a wild guess. Now that's a sight you don't see over here either, is sheep out in the field like that. I'm sure there are some places that raise sheep over here, but we see cattle over here. I'm sure you have cattle over there too, but you know what I'm talking about. These old buildings, man. I know I keep bringing that up, but it's just so different.
Leaving the tranquility of the English countryside behind, London offers Christmas fun fit for a queen and streets twinkling with joy. There's magic in the air.
It's like a CD
is that snow?
Sculpture or something.
Here in
was in
Trafalgar Square, in the heart of
so-
the city, a winter wonderland has been created just for the day.
Oh, that's cool. They bring in snow just for this? Or generated it? I know there's snow machines.
Snowy day, isn't it?
Father Christmas has dropped by for the wintry fun.
Yeah, that
and
guy needs to
London's
fix
town
his,
crier is in
wig there.
fine form as he passes out mince pies and holiday
Oh, there's
cheer.
those mince pie. You guys really like mince pies, don't you?
Nearby at Somerset House, once a grand palace, the courtyard has been transformed into an ice skating rink.
That's cool.
Elegant enough to make a commoner feel like royalty.
It's like a little Rockefeller Center, sort of.
At Covent Garden, shoppers can find classic toys for tots at Benjamin
I've heard of
Pollock's
Covent
famous
Garden
toy shop,
before.
in business since the 1880s.
Wow, no, jeez. That scared me for a second. I thought it was about to fall off or something.
The joy and peace of the Christmas season bring both people and countries together. This giant spruce, a gift from the citizens of Oslo, is a reminder of the friendship forged between Britain and Norway during World War II. And Norway is where we're
Do they
headed
send one
next.
of those every year?
Here in small town Norway, Christmas is celebrated with a unique intimacy and a Scandinavian flair for community. We're in Drøbak, about an hour south of Oslo.
While it's Norway's self-proclaimed capital of Christmas, Drøbak feels like any idyllic town on a fjord.
Kind of looks like California a little bit, though.
It's
with the
Santa
landscape.
Lucia Day, December 13th, one of the darkest days of winter and an important part of the Scandinavian Christmas season. All over Nordic Europe, little candle-bearing Santa Lucias are bringing light to the middle of winter and the promise of the return of summer. These processions are led by a young Lucia wearing a crown of lights.
I don't understand what Santa Lucia is, though. Oh, I've heard this song a lot, though. I didn't know this what it was talking about.
This home has housed widows and seniors for over 200 years, and today the kindergartners are bringing on the light in more ways than one. The children have baked the traditional Santa Lucia saffron buns, the same ones these seniors baked when they were kindergartners. Taking their cue from Santa Lucia, Norwegians, cozy in their homes, brighten their long, dark winters with lots of candles. White lights, you'll never see a colored one, and lots of
Do
green.
you guys have like really short days in Norway around this time of
In
year?
Norway, as in
He's
the rest
talking
of
about
Europe,
the darkness.
pagan symbols, like the evergreen tree, survive disguised as Christmas traditions. The same's true with this sprig of mistletoe. In Scandinavia, it's associated with the Viking goddess of love. For Celtic people, it was a sacred plant. They used it to heal the sick and enhance fertility.
For most of us, it's just a handy excuse to steal a little Christmas kiss. The Norwegian spirit of Christmas extends even to the departed. Candles flicker in graveyards as families remember lost loved ones. And all over Norway, communities gather together in churches
That's
just
sweet,
like
but also
this,
kinda creepy
as
looking,
choirs
too.
cap Santa Lucia Day with a concert.
the daylight thing though, what time does the sun come up and set in Norway? It just sounds like you guys have shorter
And
days
as the
than we might
congregation
have here or
follows the
something.
Santa Lucias out, more light of Christmas spills into this little fjordside community.
How many times does this song get sung? This is like the 4th time, I think. It's a really pretty song, though. I just wish I knew what it was about.
A common theme across cultures is a legendary gift giver, not always fat and jolly, who kids butter up with treats. While I grew up leaving Santa Claus milk and cookies by the fireplace, the kids here leave a bowl of porridge out by the barn for the Julenisse.
These mischievous elves from the forest visit each Christmas not on reindeer, but with a horse, pig, and mouse entourage, and a bag of gifts. Every good child knows the Julenisse is coming with an exciting reward. Just up the fjord, Norway's capital,
these
Oslo,
are traditions
celebrates
I've
Christmas
never
with a
heard
more
of before.
urban charm. Streets are decorated. Locals not ready to rely on the Julenisse are out shopping. And good cheer is abundant.
More ice skating.
Christmas in Oslo feels low-key. You'll find it best not on the streets or in the malls, but in the homes, with friends, and in music. Youthful voices fill the city's oldest church. The old Aker Church, which dates back to the 12th century, hosts the Norwegian Girls' Choir for an Advent concert.
And they probably don't need amplification, right? I would imagine the stone walls create that for them. It's just amazing. I've never been in a church, maybe even a building that old before. I know I'm really sheltered. Oh my gosh. They sound really good though. I think this is my favorite choir I've heard so far. That's really good.
We'll check back with the Santa Lucias and the Julenisse later. And while Norway awaits the return of the sun, further south, Paris creates its own light.
Paris is nicknamed Europe's City of Light
Oh,
for
wow,
its
that's a cool
incandescent
picture
energy
right there.
and effervescent culture. In the dark of winter, the city's best-loved icon, the Eiffel Tower, brilliantly heralds this happy season.
Are those
By night,
strobes
Paris's
or
biggest
just like
department
LED
stores
lights?
dress up the streets. Printemps is pretty in pink, and the Galerie Lafayette has woven an exquisite embroidery of lights. And all along the Champs-Élysées, it's a festive forest of 2,000 twinkling trees.
Wow, that's so cool looking.
By day,
I know I
the
say
signs
that
of
a lot,
Christmas
but,
are
you
more
know.
subtle, but can be found everywhere. The best-dressed trees are seen here in the Pompidou Center. Where else but in Paris will you find avant-garde Christmas trees making a fashion statement?
Oh my gosh.
With visions of Versace dancing in their heads,
Imagine
inspired
somebody walking down the
fashionistas
street in
can
those
bundle
shoes.
up their wish lists and head to the designer boutiques.
I guess only in
on
Paris,
New
right?
York.
I don't know if New York does stuff like
Christmas
this or
in
not.
Paris is elegantly understated, and the city yields unexpected moments. Turn a corner and you just might find yourself in a stylish arcade, all wrapped up in red. Busy Parisian
red
shoppers
Christmas
fuel up
trees.
on the city's street food. Steamy crepes and hot roasted chestnuts.
That guy looked like he belonged in New York City.
And neighborhood brasseries are full of friends, slurping fresh oysters rushed in from the Brittany coast.
Oh god, no.
Oysters are favorites at Christmas, which makes perfect sense, as they're plump and delicious this time of
I'm
year.
sorry, if you like oysters, that's fine. It's just not my thing.
'Tis also the season of elegant edibles. Foie gras, a pâté made from goose liver and a smidge of cognac, is especially popular during holidays. And chocolate shops and patisseries, wonderful any time of year, get even better at Christmas.
Okay, I
There
can use
are
some of
chocolate
this stuff.
chestnuts, yummy Yule logs, and delights fit for a king.
Wow.
Even sophisticated Paris rolls out the magic carpet for children. French families from all over the country rendezvous at the windows of the grand department stores. Displays are specially designed to enchant the little ones. And stools provided by thoughtful stores make
amazing. Those
sure
are
that
such
even the
old-fashioned
tiniest tot
types of
enjoys
toys.
a good view.
They're still used today.
During Christmas, the Eiffel Tower becomes the highest ice skating rink in Paris.
Wow. Is that on the Eiffel Tower?
Kids ride ponies at Luxembourg
I
Gardens.
didn't even know that they had like platforms
And the city's
like that
magical
on there.
Ménage de Noël, the carousels of Christmas, spin memories. A clear, cold day brings out Parisians, trying to soak up as much sunlight as possible on these, the shortest days of the year, while a dusting of snow brings out hopes for a white Christmas, like at home. Whether you're young
guys get a lot
or
of
just
snow in
young at heart,
France?
Christmas in
You
Paris
never know what the
is
climate's
stuff
really
of
like over
dreams.
in Europe.
If Paris is a grande dame strutting her Christmas finery, then Burgundy, where we're heading next, is her pious country cousin.
Burgundy lies in the quiet,
Wow,
religious
look at
heart of
that.
this mostly secular nation. France's most venerable abbeys are here, and their spirit seems to animate the small villages throughout the region.
Every
Ancient
country we've
traditions
seen so
survive
far has
comfortably
these rolling
here.
green
This
hills.
13th
That's
century
exactly
abbey
what
resonates with the rich
I think
sounds
of when
of
I
the
think
French
of
group
Europe a lot of
Fanima,
times.
singing medieval carols just as they were sung centuries ago.
So basically what I'm getting from this is that concerts and ice skating are all things that happen in every single country that we've looked at so far. So those two things seem to be some commonalities. Looks like they're dressed the part as well. Oh, look at those vineyards. You guys have like the greenest grass over in Europe. I feel like it doesn't get that green over here.
A sense of community runs strong in rural France, and it expresses itself in simple rituals shared by families and friends. In Burgundy, no one goes without. Communities take good care of one another year-round, with special treats at Christmas. This amiable village mayor,
Oh,
accompanied by her
big
entourage,
dog.
gets into the spirit of things by delivering baskets of delicacies to the elderly for the Christmas Eve feast.
Just casually walking down the street playing an accordion.
On vient vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël et une bonne fin d'année.
This guy, this lady reminds me of Sharon Osbourne a little bit. That's really nice, though, that they do that for their neighbors.
This morning, my friends, the Bertolutes, are shopping for seasonal fare at the Saturday market.
Très beau. Bon. Tiens, regarde.
Allez, belle fraise là, superbe.
Fine foods at the center of life in Burgundy, even in the dead of winter. Right about now, the truffles are at their pungent best.
C'est fabuleux.
Delphine and Emmanuel prepare for the grandest culinary event of the year, The French call their Christmas Eve feast La Réveillon de Noël.
On peut prendre une petite tranche, on va prendre une petite tranche.
At home, the family's busy preparing for the big event. The children are decorating candles to set on the windowsill on Christmas Eve to light up the dark on that night so filled with anticipation. And the tree's not quite done until capped with a star.
I feel like that's the most common
In the
decoration.
kitchen, Delphine slices her foie gras, then devotes herself to the centerpiece of the Réveillon, filet of beef
that
wrapped
is
in
a
brioche.
big piece of meat right there.
Stretching the pastry is a two-person job. After generously grating local truffles, the beef is tenderly wrapped and ready for the oven.
I've never seen that done before.
And there's still the serious business of selecting the perfect wine from the cellar. Soon, guests will be arriving. This time of year, when the days are short and the nights are long, it's customary to leave a welcoming light in the window.
We'll be back when dinner's ready.
Alright, so that is it for part 1. My favorite part had to be all of the Christmas concerts. That's something that I can relate to because that's always been a big part of my own life. What I took from this was that England, you really like your mince pies. Ice skating is a very popular thing. And also I'm noticing that Christmas trees over in Europe for some reason seem to be a lot more thinned out than ours are here. Ours are a lot fuller. We don't have those gaps in the branches and stuff like that. So is that just kind of like a stylistic thing, or is it a different kind of tree? I don't know. Maybe not all of your trees are like that, but it just looks like all the ones that I've seen so far look quite different than the ones that we have over here. But anyway, if you live in England, Norway, or France, let me know how accurate this was. And also if you have anything to add that wasn't included in this, let me know as well. I've got part 2 coming your way tomorrow, so don't miss it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do remember to like and subscribe. I always like having you guys come along with me on this kind of educational journey that I'm on. So stay tuned. Roger and I wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.